Hi, I'm Danny O, aka AtalaiA, and this is From the Speaker, introducing Paul Oakenfold, a unique artist and entrepreneurial visionary who has shaped the music scene. When I talk of the first Ibiza reunion parties in the UK, touring with U2 and DJing on Everest, I'm only scratching the surface of this man's colourful life.
Danny.
Hello, my friend. Lovely to see you after all this time.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me apologise because I've just come from LA, so my flight was delayed and it took me about 15 hours to get here. So all good. Where are you?
Scrutton Street in Shoreditch. I think you know it, don't you?
I thought you lived in Ibiza.
No, well, I used to. I was living there, well, pretty much permanently. While I was helping as a tour manager for Mambo and starting the radio station up. But the last 2 years, I've just been back. I moved to London just over 2 years ago, and I got the job with the BBC. So I stayed put.
Well, congratulations. So what's your role with the BBC?
Well, it was a training role to begin with, an apprenticeship. So I was with Radio 1 Dance, and I've been with BBC Sounds as well. So that's come to an end now. So I'm freelance with them.
Right. So you're freelance living in London on a lockdown.
Mate, yeah, that's how it's going at the moment. It's quiet in the studio, you know, so I can still come here at least. It's all good. And you got here just in the nick of time as well. It's tier 4 now.
So I heard. Who's that half-naked girl in the background?
Where are you looking?
In the studio, there's a half-naked girl waving in the background.
I wish there was, mate.
He's looking behind him.
I wish there was.
Hang on. That's not a girl, that's a guy. What's going on there?
Mate, this studio is the most solitary place in the world. There's no girls in here, sadly.
Yeah, well, you never know, one day. So, what we're talking about?
I've got all sorts of things I could talk to you for hours, I think, mate, that you've done so much stuff. I was just wondering what your projects are at the moment. I know everything's totally scuppered with COVID and all the rest of it. But yeah, what about any exciting projects? The ones that stand out lately are obviously Everest and that sort of thing.
I think with COVID, what it done was initially give me time to finish a bunch of musical projects. One being my album, which is 17 songs.
Fantastic.
One being new collaborations with some of my colleagues from Adam White has done stuff, Nat Mundy has done stuff, Christine Novelli. I've done a track with Mark Almond. I've actually been doing a lot of music. Then I started writing some cinematic music. I scored a documentary in America.
Amazing.
So I kind of just, obviously because there's been no live, I just dived totally in the music. But I've now got to a point, probably a month ago, where I've had enough of writing music. I mean, I've got about 24 singles ready to go. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So I did one show since COVID, which was a strange show. It was in America. They're doing these driving shows where you literally drive in. Everyone gets out their vehicle on the same side. There's a little barrier to make sure you don't leave your space. And then, they're looking at the stage. But here's the problem. From the stage, all you're looking at is a sea of cars.
Yeah.
You can't really see the people. And there's no vibe. But we're trying to deal with the best situation we can.
Yeah, it is tough. I know what you're saying about the music making, because I mean, I love to immerse myself in that as well, and you can do it for a period of time, but as you say, you get sort of sick of it. You build up tracks, and then you wonder what you're doing it for. You need to get them out there, get them heard, don't you?
Yeah, that's the thing. So that's where frustration creeps in, because you're like, right, well, why is and I'm signed to different record labels and they need 6 weeks to set the record up, and you're like, guys, can't we just put it out?
Yeah. So what's occurring with the album then? That's sort of imminently coming, is it?
Yeah, no. So I've finished. I put my first single out, which featured Luis Fonsi, which was about lyrically supporting, caring, helping one another.
Nice.
Which was never planned to be a single. It's just a nice track on the album, but turned into a single because of COVID. My new single's got the rapper Eve.
Oh yeah.
Who I met many years ago and was a friend. And then the next single's Azealia Banks, Hello Black. I've got some very interesting collaborations with good names. And the album is much more of the same. My artist albums are always a collective of songs with different people from different genres that leans more towards, because it is song-based, commercial music.
Yeah.
It's not, never has been from my first album to now. In 20 years, I've never been doing straightforward trance tunes. I mean, my artist album is that. It's an artist album, which is really, I find difficult to do.
I love that, mate. I'm of the same sort of thinking. I like collaborating with people and releasing a range of different songs, you know, pulling together talent with, like, I've recently done a couple of vocal tracks, which I sent over to Tarek, and I've worked with a guitarist as well, male and female singers. I think that sort of brings it to life. It's exciting.
Yeah, and are you happy with what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's the main focus of it, because if you're trying to just make one sound, that's another thing I wanted to ask you about, actually, because you've covered so many genres. You can make just one sound and try and focus on being a tech house or a whatever, techno superstar, or you can cover lots of different bases. And I just find my natural path through music has been to collaborate with lots of different people and do what comes naturally, and a lot of stuff comes out. As with yourself, you've made tons of different types of music across every genre.
Yeah, and stay on that path, because you never know what door's going to open, and it's good to be creative in the music genre, and rather than sticking to one thing. Yeah, that's how it feels. Sorry, Danny. Not a lot of people can do that, actually, is go to different genres. A lot of people do stick in their lane because it's all they know.
Yeah, I think people are scared to as well, because they're advised by the powers that be, or especially when they get management, you need to stick with this brand. You've had a tech house hit or whatever. You need to continue on that path and make something similar. Whereas, you especially have gone into so many different genres, and you've been into the world of film scores, making music for TV, all sorts of things, theme tunes, Big Brother, and I think that's so much more exciting. You've had success, obviously, in the world of like syncing music to film. That's another thing I wanted to really touch on, because it's exciting, especially for these times when we're not out doing festivals, clubs, whatever. Would you say that like syncing music to film, like you've done with the Born Identity, television, Big Brother theme, computer games, is that something to look into, or is it too much of a specialist area?
I would recommend it. I mean, I got introduced to it because they asked me, 2021, they asked me to score a movie called Swordfish.
Yeah.
John Travolta, Halle Berry, Hugh Jackman. Good film, actually.
Yeah, seen it.
You seen it?
I've seen it, yeah. Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, okay. So they asked me to do that, and then the doors opened. I ended up working on all these other films, and I enjoyed it, and that's how I ended up in Hollywood. I had no plans to move there.
Yeah.
That wasn't on my radar. It was, I'd enjoyed touring America for a few years. I'd built up my name. My compilation did over 100,000 albums, and so I could see that there was something happening. And then I got this offer, I was nervous. I'd never scored a movie. I was concerned that I might let people down. But I jumped into it with both feet, and I did so much research. I really prepared. So when the door opened, I could walk through that door, and I knew I had the confidence to nail it. And it's like DJing. You know, people just think you get up there and you just play. But if you're totally aware of what's in your box, what's on your stick, what's on your laptop in terms of arrangement, key, structure, when to drop something to lift the crowd, when to play a brand new track. I remember when I played Goldie in the City Blues, which was an 18-minute drum and bass track at Cream in the Annex. And I was like, I thought I played it at the right time so I could get into it because it was so different, right?
Yeah.
So I think just generally with music, if you're prepared, whether it's a game, a film, a DJ set, it will come easier because then you can be more creative with it because you know everything that's there to choose from.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. Yeah, well, I found that the same especially with sunsets at Mambo, because it wasn't my forte to begin with, doing a sunset. And I think if you've got at least a rough framework of preparation for the sunset, pre and post, then you're laughing, you know. It's the same producing music as well. If you've done thousands of hours in the studio, mixing, whatever, working with vocalists, then you can be ready to go when you do get an opportunity, something to score a film, as you've had.
Yeah, I mean, the sunset is very interesting because I played Mambo sunsets a couple of times, and I prepared what I wanted to play because I've only played a few times. You and Jason doing it, let's say every night, every other night, whatever the shifts you were doing.
More or less.
You can fall into playing the same stuff all the time.
Yep. Oh, true. Yeah, because of the ebb and flow and the way things build, you know, towards the moment. Totally, yeah.
And I when I played Stonehenge, and the concept was sunset Stonehenge. So I'd play for an hour and a half as the sun's going down, and then I invited Cole Cox to join me, and him went back to back, and we played whatever, tech house, blah, blah, blah. But here's the point. Sunset was September. So I was in Ibiza that summer, and I was watching the sunsets, and I was playing music. I had my headphones on. I was listening to music. I kept tracking tunes. I was planning it. I put a lot of thought into it because we recorded it, and it's come out as a piece. So I was all over the shop. Yeah. So and the most difficult thing, and I spoke to Jason about this, was if you can nail that song, and that song ends, and as the sunset goes down, you get this applause. Yeah. And that was what I strived for at Stonehenge, because I didn't want the sun to disappear and then the tune's going on and on and on and on. It doesn't make sense. It's got to end perfectly. So you know what I did? I timed the whole thing. I looked it up. Where does the sun set at Stonehenge? What time does it set? And then I worked backwards on my whole set, and I wrote down all the mix points because I was recording it and everyone was there. I put so much fucking work into it just to nail it. But then when I was going to Mambo, you guys were just doing it like it was no big deal. And I'm like, and that comes with so much experience of just doing it and playing and playing and playing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you find songs as well that have got 2 or 3 breakdowns, like, you know, like Once Upon a Time in America, like Ennio Morricone, these sort of tracks, they've got peaks and troughs in them where, you know, if you have got your timing wrong by a minute or two, you can echo something out and no one will ever know because they've got sort of similar crescendos.
Yeah, and the other trick I got was that when I'm getting near to the sunset, I had double copies, so I was kind of mixing in to extend it if I felt I was a little bit behind or out, which again no one knew. But I mean, I get that anyway. Secrets.
That's it, mate. It's all secrets, and it's getting it wrong loads of times as well. And you know, we slow the tempo down to the very bottom of the slider, you know, and pull it up as well. I've been like that so many times before, and then a cloud comes along. So what can you do?
Yeah, start again.
Yeah, that's it. So So in terms of plans coming up, then could you see yourself doing an Everest Part 2 or something like that?
No. There's no. I'm not going to climb up there again. I mean, that was fucking hard. But we are looking at other locations. I have been offered some very, very interesting spots that we're going to do, and it's just a shame that, you know, that COVID kicked in, because these places I really wanted to do this year, maybe next year. We'll see. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to keep them going. I mean, you're sort of known for doing all these things. You do a lot of firsts, like the Great Wall. Was it Hollywood Bowl as well? Heaps of different stuff, like remixing the pop stars, Madonna. Is that something that you sort of drive yourself? You're always pushing hard, or is it connections?
Yeah. You just summed it up. It's drive. It's a challenge. It's to keep yourself fresh. Look, you know, I've been very lucky. I'm fortunate. I've worked really hard. I've been resident at all the best clubs. Yeah. You know, even Las Vegas in 2007, there wasn't even, that whole Vegas scene wasn't there. But it's the challenge. It's a challenge to do these places. It takes a long time to prepare and pull them off. So I look forward to them. So yeah, I enjoy them.
Yeah. So it just builds up and up, and you think it's come as a product of making loads of contacts and just being a good guy and networking and keeping in with people, and then thinking, okay, I want to do this before anyone else does it. This looks exciting. I'm gonna let's make a new project.
Yes, some of that. Yes, you know. I mean, I don't go into it thinking that. I mean, usually it's the other way around, that I sit here or a friend will come to me. It wasn't my idea to DJ at Base Camp Mount Everest. It was a friend of mine, and he said to me, "Well, you want to do this?" And then I said, "Yeah." And then I was like thinking, "Oh man, I'll just get a helicopter up there. I'll play and I get a helicopter down." And then I realised I couldn't do that because that defeats the object. And then I started to shit myself, because I'm like, "Oh shit! That means I've got to hike and climb to do it." And I've never done that in my life, or slept in a sleeping bag, or, you know, it was difficult. Sometimes you try walking 7 hours up a hill.
Man.
No, it's not easy at a high altitude where you can't breathe. Yeah. But I spent 6 months training for it, 3 hours a day, and I was super fit. And then, you know, and then I started hanging out with Tarek, eating meat pies and chips and tea.
Northerners, that's Northerners.
And you Northerners, you Northerners, you now look at me. I mean, you know.
So you're not keeping in shape anymore then for anything?
No, I'm completely out of shape.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, it went out the window.
Was that it then? Was it you were driven to get in great shape for that, the best ever shape, and then you've just sort of
that was the drive. I didn't want to let anyone down. I believed I could do it. I mean, people die doing that. It's pretty scary.
It's no joke.
People have died. But I did it. I've stayed fit thereafter. The movie's coming out now. We made a documentary. We got all the music cleared. Been edited. That comes out in the next 3 or 4 months.
Ah, right.
And then on to the next one.
Yeah, because I was looking for that. I was having a bit of a look around, because you played a few. You played one of my tracks because it was on the album. So I wanted to see if there was a movie. Yes, fantastic. But I couldn't find the movie, but it said it was sort of forthcoming on your website. So yeah, thanks for clearing that up.
You're on the soundtrack of what I played up on Basecamp.
Amazing, man. That's life goals.
But the documentary is not just me playing; it's me trying to get there. So you're going to see how difficult it is. You're going to see the highs, the lows. You know, the people up there. I mean, the show is just the actual DJ show is a small part of it. It's the struggle of our 7 guys. They've never hiked, slept in a sleeping bag, and can they pull it off? And does the equipment work? No one knows if the equipment works at 17,000 feet.
Yeah. So you had to get them to carry that up for you as well. Was Tarek there or not? Carrying things?
Tarek carried it up. Single-handedly, all on his back. He carried it up. He's still up there.
part of his soul's just left up there on the mountain.
We left it. He's got to go back next week and pick the rest up.
Couple of other things I wanted to ask about Perfecto and what you see. What's the ethos and vision of the label? Label's doing really well.
Yeah. We've signed a lot of we're all about new young talent. And we've taken a different approach in respect of that talent. I mean, we're in a different time now. So we release the records, we support the records worldwide, marketing, promotion, obviously Beatport, and through the radio show. My radio show's massive. I've got 25 million weekly listeners. But now the artist has to engage. The artist has to build his social platform up. The artist has to be as busy as the label promoting himself. And if he's not, then there's so many young producers now, then we're like, look, if you're not doing your part, then we move on. That's kind of how it is now. It's a different animal.
Massively, mate. It's especially this year, it's been so prominent. I've seen so many DJs, the proactive ones anyway, moving into other stuff, doing a lot of video editing, making different types of music that's more appropriate to Spotify or home listening. You've got to keep moving, because there's some that you haven't heard from all year, and where are they going to be when we do get out of this? You know, they're going to be at the back of the pack. So, you know, if you're hungry and keen enough, then you've got to keep moving this year.
You got to. How are the Mambo crew? How's Avi?
They're really good, mate. We've started because I started Mambo Radio, and we run the show live each week. So we had Jason and Andy Baxter playing last night live from the studio, and you can see them on the Mambo Facebook every week. But they're ticking away. They're doing well. Javi's got his other venues. He's got La Torre. I don't know if you've been up to La Torre. I guess Alfredo's up there often. But he's staying positive, and he kept Mambo open most of the summer. And I got to play there a few times. We had a closing party. It was a muted affair, but he keeps trucking away, Javier and the boys as well.
Yeah, we'll give him my regards.
I most certainly will, mate. Yes, I still speak to them often, the guys at the agency. Have you not been across to Ibiza lately?
Well, I mean, this is the first year I haven't been there in 30 years.
Yeah, wow. Oh, well, hopefully next year. I mean, it's more trouble than it's worth in some ways.
Strangely enough, it might have been good for the actual island itself, not the people, but the island, to just let it breathe, right? You know, now I know there's people who rely on money and blah, 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 but it's, you just, you know what I mean? It might, the spirit, as strange as it sounds, the land, the earth, it was being pounded. May just need to let it breathe and come back in a different way. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I'd agree. Wise words. My good friend Michael Boland said that as well. He lives there, and he thinks it needs a chance to breathe. He's saying people are saying the sea looks clearer, it all looks cleaner. But on the flip side of that, you know, it is a good thing, but you've got some of the people there queuing at food banks because there's just no there's no alternative work for a lot of them. It's a very difficult place to live at the best of times in the winter.
Yeah, well, that's it, and they have got those food banks going on, but that's where the government step in, you know. And I know there was a show. Coxie said there was a show he did to raise money. I mean, if I'd known about it, I would have played it. You could have had a Creamfields line up for Ibiza. Who wouldn't go and play free for Ibiza to raise money? Who would? Yeah. You could have thought out the box. It could have been a house DJ and a trance DJ playing back to back, a pop DJ, and you could have just done something really, really unique, because everyone's been there. But I felt that they missed it, really. They had about 5 DJs playing on it. Yeah, well, they're quite a small organisation. I think they're going to grow. It's Ibiza Food Bank, and I'm speaking with them as well. Actually, I've tried to do a few things for them with Mambo Radio, and I'm going to chat with them on here. I don't know if they're speaking English or whatever, but I'll get them in Spanish, and I'll maybe try and put something together, you know, try and build them up a little bit, and then they'll be in a position to put on a proper event. Yeah, well, I'm in. Yeah, let's keep it in mind anyway. I'm definitely going to chat with them. So yeah, I just think they really want to move the dial, come to the community, not individuals, and say, we need all your help. Put your hand up, and we all put our hand up, and they have 24 hours of Ibiza dance, from chill out music to sunset music to techno to house. You know, I could give them some of my specials when I had my residency at Pasha, a Pasha special from 9/11, the closing, or when I was resident Amnesia at Cream. I've got some of those old sets, Cream special. Brilliant. You know, we do something. It's not us just playing our normal stuff. Drop back into that. I could do an old Balearic set from back in the day, from the 98. No, what was it? 91 sets, 88. You know, those early sets. Go to Johnny Walker, Nicky Holloway. Some of the originals. Ask every DJ for an hour's set, and they don't need to even see them. You can make it really easy, and everyone who wants to listen to 24 hours of Ibiza pays £5. Yeah, sounds like you $4.99 and a night out with Tarek. Or that girl behind you, that topless girl behind you, right? That goes up to a tenner. I'm going to go and find her later. You're welcome down here, by the way. Come and meet her. Get yourself down here. Yeah, we're on our way. So bring some bevs. Speak to them about it. You know, let's help. I do Balearic specials, my residencies at Passion, and just, you know, space, cream at space, because that's what people want to hear. Yeah, it's not just the new sets. They want to hear all the old sets. So, you know, you ask every DJ, so give us your favourite set that you played in Ibiza in the last 25 years. What a 24 hours that would be. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and people like to hear that off-the-wall stuff, strange back-to-backs, people playing odd sounds that they're not used to as well. Yeah, and it's not all up-tempo. It's you doing your Mambo set, your classic Mambo set, you know. Yeah, that's it. All right, Danny, I'm going to go and have a beer, mate. So am I, fella. It's a shame we can't have one together. We'll have to get together at Tarek's house sometime. For sure. Well, first of all, it's good to see you. Stay well, and you know, I hope you have a good Christmas and New Year with the family. And yeah, it would be good to see you, buddy. Always good to see you. You know that. Thanks, man. You're always welcome here at Scrutton Street. So is Tarek, of course. Shortage, yeah. Well, trust me, once it opens up, we'll be knocking on that door. Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much, mate. It's been a real pleasure and lovely to see you. And happy birthday to your mum, and happy Christmas, all of you. Thank you. Take care. I think that's beautiful. For more podcasts and new music, visit AtalaiAmusic.com. Take it easy, people. Catch you next time. Goodbye.